One state is pulling off a demographic heist that would make even the most seasoned urban planners gasp. It's almost entirely desert, a landscape so harsh it should repel growth. But in just 1 year, 28,000 new residents packed their bags and moved in. Look at the map of the American West and most people see a death trap. But thousands of families see a lifeline. Arizona has more land. California has more money. Utah has more water. Yet this desert kingdom is sprinting to the top of the growth charts. One glittering city, one industry fueled by vice. If you weren't there to roll dice or see a show, there was no point in hanging around. Then things changed. It is a landlocked state with a shrinking water supply, an economy that used to rely entirely on tourism. Yet, the numbers show Nevada is beating historically bigger states with massive head starts. Why? To find out, drive east from Reno along I-80 to the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center. It might look like any other industrial complex, but it's different. It's the backbone of the American supply chain. From this single spot, a truck can reach Seattle, Phoenix or Los Angeles in 24 hours. Because of this, tech giants like Google and Switch have moved in, alongside Tesla's massive gigafactory. The corridor isn't just wide-open asphalt, it's a spine of innovation. Warehouses are becoming micro-hubs for robotics, AI-managed inventory, and drone-assisted deliveries. By cutting transit times and avoiding congested ports, companies can reduce shipping costs. For employees, the cost of living is far lower than the Bay Area or Seattle. Tech hubs can grow without crippling housing pressures. Startups in Reno now have access to talent without the daily commute nightmare. It's a mini silicon ecosystem in the middle of the desert. Clark County is being completely rebuilt. Southern Nevada isn't just a place for weekend trips anymore, it's turning into a business hub. Global companies are getting a way to stay connected to West Coast ports, but without the crushing costs and congestion of those coastal cities. And, honestly, the money is just pouring in. In just the past year, billions have flowed into Henderson and North Las Vegas to strengthen America's supply chain. Nevada is using its low taxes and fast paperwork to allow for the kind of quick growth that is almost impossible to find anywhere else in the West. Automotion, green energy, big tech, they're all being drawn to the desert. All of this is part of a plan by the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. They have been a key part of this current expansion phase. By 2027, the desert could become a powerhouse of American manufacturing. But that's all on the surface. One of the biggest factors is hidden in the soil. Nevada sits on the new silver. Lithium. Thacker Pass, right around Humboldt County, holds the largest known lithium deposit in the United States. This single valley could provide enough lithium to power 800,000 electric vehicles per year. Nevada is the EV fuel for the next century of transport. But building a battery-powered future requires a massive amount of electricity. And, in the desert, that is a problem. To meet that demand, Nevada is taking action. It's the only state in the West aggressively rebuilding its entire grid. The flagship project is Greenlink West, a 472-mile, or 759-kilometer high-voltage transmission line that will connect Las Vegas directly to Reno. This massive energy highway is built to deliver large amounts of renewable power, from desert solar farms, straight to the tech hubs in northern Nevada. And that's getting the attention of another industry. Data centers could consume up to 10% of the world's electricity by 2030. That's as much power as a major industrial nation like Japan consumes in a single year. With wide-open land and stable regulations, Nevada has become a prime location for these facilities. To keep these servers running all day long, Nevada is building the Gemini Solar Project. Located just outside Las Vegas, it acts as a 1.4 gigawatt-hour battery. While the state remains connected to California's energy network, this project lets Nevada decouple its industrial growth from the overloaded, aging California grid next door. By generating nearly 950 megawatts from its own geothermal plants, which is enough for about 700,000 homes, Nevada can power its growing industrial and tech sectors without relying on California. The biggest breakthrough happened in Humboldt County at Project Red. Fervo Energy built the first commercial enhanced geothermal system in the United States, tapping deep hot rock to generate energy. They've signed a major deal to supply Google's massive data centers. It's a multi-million-dollar project that is a win for the environment. It uses a closed-loop system that barely uses any water. The same underground heat that powers Nevada's energy boom is quietly easing the state's water stress. So, this is what the fastest-growing state looks like from the inside. You've got a grid being rebuilt from scratch, powering industries that honestly didn't even exist here 5 years ago. And while Nevada is busy building out its physical infrastructure, it's also rewriting the legal infrastructure. For like a century, Delaware totally dominated corporate America. If you wanted to start a major company, you incorporated there. But now, a new movement is emerging: Dexit. Companies are pulling out. It's an exodus, and there's really only one place they're going. Venture capital giants and public companies, like Fidelity National Financial, Roblox and AMC Networks, are leaving Delaware and moving their legal headquarters to Nevada. So, why the shift? Delaware's courts have become, honestly, kind of unpredictable. They're overturning those massive CEO pay packages and even questioning board independence. For founders and investors, that's a total nightmare. But Nevada noticed an opportunity, an opening to rival other states. They built a system that puts power squarely back in the hands of owners. Directors here are protected from lawsuits unless intentional fraud or misconduct is actually proven. It's a strong legal shield, defending capital from, judicial overreach. Nevada's special laws are turning the state into a massive testing ground for new businesses. They're focusing on things like AI-driven loans and super secure digital sales. And honestly, businesses are choosing Nevada because there's no franchise tax and the privacy laws are just really strong. The real fuel for all this growth? It's money. More specifically, venture capital money. Since Nevada doesn't have a corporate income tax, these startups can grow into other states without getting hit by heavy state tax burdens twice. That makes Nevada the perfect home base for any company that wants to scale up fast. While states like California are busy debating new taxes on the wealthy, Nevada's income tax ban acts like a magnet. In the past 5 years, the state has pulled in $500 million in private investment. That's money that might have stayed in California if it wasn't for its high taxes and regulatory hurdles. By 2030, Nevada is expected to host 10,000 new companies, turning the losses of one state into the growth of another. Major players aren't just moving their headquarters, they're moving entire teams. When Roblox shifted its legal domicile to Nevada, it sparked a wave of support services. Law firms, accounting and recruitment firms followed. Nevada as a testing ground, funding AI startups that wouldn't have survived in coastal markets. Delaware built its dominance over a century. Nevada took a piece of it in just 5 years. That speed is why Nevada is at the top of the growth charts. And remember, if you like these geography deep dives, make sure to hit subscribe. That way, you can be the first to know when Nevada adds another city. But there's one challenge that could stop the state dead in its tracks. Water. This is the core argument every critic uses. Nevada will run out of water. Right now, Lake Mead sits at roughly 34% capacity, and a Tier 1 shortage has already been declared. On paper, Nevada should be wilting. Instead, it's thriving. Why? Because the state treats water like a financial asset. This strategy is a key part of Nevada's growth story, and people across the US are starting to take notice. Nevada has become a world leader in closed-loop water recycling. Almost every gallon used indoors, sinks, showers, or dishwashers, is reclaimed, treated to drinking water standards, and returned to Lake Mead. This earns the state return credits. For every gallon they put back, they get another out. That has led to a major win. Southern Nevada uses 48% less water per person than it did 20 years ago, even as the population exploded. Basically, they are trading water. The desert turned one of its biggest challenges into a hidden advantage. It's an efficiency that rival states can't match. Still, if the Colorado River drops faster than engineers predict, even this system could be pushed to the breaking point. With untapped reservoirs of geothermal energy still waiting below, Nevada's unique geology isn't just fueling growth, it's a built-in solution to the desert's toughest resource challenges. That rapid expansion is pushing neighboring states to confront their own challenges. Arizona's sprawl means thousands of miles of new pipes, power lines, and roads with escalating maintenance costs. Every mile of new freeway in the Phoenix metro area costs roughly $20 million to construct. That's more than double what Nevada typically spends per mile on highway expansion in its faster-growing corridors. The logistical cost of moving water is also a massive drain. Pumping water 336 miles, 540 kilometers uphill from the Colorado River via the Central Arizona Project consumes enough energy to power 100,000 homes. Nevada's shorter pipelines require a fraction of that energy. In Pinal County, Arizona, groundwater depletion is causing the land itself to sink by a few inches each year, highlighting a stark contrast with Nevada, where aquifer drawdowns have been far less dramatic. To the east, Utah is grappling with a different geographic bottleneck, the narrow corridor of the Wasatch Front, where 80% of the state's 3.55 million residents live. Housing costs in Salt Lake County average $500,000, nearly double the median housing cost in Nevada's fastest-growing counties. Further north, Colorado's Front Range congestion traps 70% of residents, inflating infrastructure costs to $10 billion for Canyon Freeway expansions. It's roughly 3 times what Nevada has spent on similar highway improvements in the Reno and Las Vegas regions. Even Idaho faces wildfire-prone forests and limited water from the Snake River. That's meant its utilities have plowed roughly $800 million annually into broader grid infrastructure and resilience. Nevada's own wildfire mitigation and grid upgrades have cost less than half that amount. Every state that Nevada is outgrowing put rigid systems in place that limited them. Systems they couldn't change fast enough. Nevada had no legacy in place, just the freedom to move quickly. Nevada's legal code is also fueling a biotech explosion. The state has a secret weapon for lab-heavy firms. It doesn't tax intangibles. In California, the massive revenue generated from patents and secret formulas is subject to steep corporate income taxes. But in Nevada, that income is protected. The result? A rush of firms snapping up massive plots of land to build high-tech laboratories far from the prying eyes of coastal regulators. The underdog is winning because its rivals are choking on their own success. It all started in 2023, when California lawmakers began debating a new wealth tax to fix the budget deficit. They targeted the net worth of wealthy residents, even after they left the state. But Nevada provides a shield, a constitutional one. The state's founding documents effectively ban personal income tax, making it a free zone for huge corporations. The real shock comes when a billionaire moves their legal residence to Incline Village. Overnight, the tax base of an entire California county vanishes. Nevada absorbs that wealth without building a single expensive social program to attract it. They simply stay out of the way. It's a competitive advantage California's tax laws never saw coming. But the wealth tax is just one symptom of a state in crisis. Middle-class families making 6-figure salaries are forced to spend almost half of their paycheck on rent. In San Diego and the Bay Area, a typical home now costs well over $1 million, and that's being generous. While the median Nevada home cost $250,000 just a decade ago, today a California family can sell a cramped bungalow for $1.1 million and buy a house twice the size in Nevada for $500,000. That is a $600,000 equity check straight into the bank and shows the surge in wealth flowing out of California. No wonder people are moving. 47% of all newcomers to the Las Vegas area are coming from California. They're bringing wealth, skills, and ambition with them. Nevada isn't just welcoming them, it's giving them a completely new tax world to play in. But the Golden State is unraveling in other ways that few fully appreciate. Wildfires are becoming annual catastrophes, forcing evacuations, destroying homes, and increasing insurance costs. This makes coverage almost impossible for middle-class families. Rolling blackouts hit major tech hubs and urban centers, undermining business productivity and making expansion risky. Beyond energy, California faces a regulatory maze. Environmental, labor, and zoning rules often create years-long delays for construction and infrastructure projects, strangling innovation before it even starts. Now, companies are facing a paradox. Do they stay and fork out enormous overhead and uncertainty, Or do they leave and risk losing their market position? Many are choosing the latter. At the same time, wealth and talent are moving north and east. Silicon Valley's brightest engineers are seeking affordable housing, lower taxes, and faster business permits, things California no longer reliably offers. Hollywood's production crews are leaving for cheaper, faster, and more predictable states. Entrepreneurs are fleeing a combination of taxes and court unpredictability. The brain drain alone is a silent economic earthquake that few outside the state notice in real time. But you can't import 28,000 people a year without breaking things. Nevada is importing wealth, but is also importing demand for services that the current budget can barely cover. And it's getting out of hand fast. School districts are overwhelmed. Clark County is the 5th largest in the nation and is facing a massive teacher shortage. And then there is the housing stalemate. In Las Vegas and Reno, service workers earning $20 an hour are being priced out. The California spillover has pushed prices so high that the very people who work in the casinos can't afford to live within 50 miles, 80 kilometers of their jobs. This is the biggest threat to Nevada's growth. If the blue-collar workers can't afford to live here, the tech and logistics hubs will eventually starve. The state is trying to unlock federal land for affordable housing, but that requires an act of Congress. It's a race against time. The housing crisis is visible. The healthcare crisis is not. Currently, Nevada is in the middle of a workforce crisis that would paralyze most states. It's currently trailing far behind the national average in medical staffing, needing to hire thousands of more healthcare workers by 2030 just to meet the needs of the surging population. To solve this, Las Vegas is no longer just gambling on cards. It's gambling on clinical research. A new $150 million medical education building is rising in the Las Vegas Medical District, LVMD. The goal is to turn the district into a bioscience incubator, a place where lab research becomes real-life treatment in months, not years. Currently, Nevada earns roughly $20 billion annually from healthcare, making this sector a natural growth engine. It's predicted to bring in $300 million in revenue every year, creating a stable, high-paying career path that doesn't depend on how many people are sitting at a blackjack table. Alongside healthcare, Nevada is investing in education and vocational training tailored to its new economy. The University of Nevada is partnering with renewable energy companies to train engineers, lab technicians, and specialists who can step directly into the state's growing clean energy sector. However, even Nevada's expansion miracle has its limits. Nevada's recycling system and water reserves give it some breathing room, a buffer other states don't enjoy. But the Bureau of Reclamation has suggested massive cuts to the Colorado River if states can't reach a deal soon. By taking the cut voluntarily, Nevada is positioning itself as the responsible adult at the table, daring the federal government to force even bigger cuts on its neighbors like California and Arizona. If the Colorado River keeps dropping, even the closed-loop system won't be enough. Cuts are increasing, and this is a blackout risk. If the water level drops too low, the turbines at Hoover Dam stop spinning, stopping its growth in its tracks. Right now, Nevada is basically one policy shift, one dry winter away from the miracle ending, so they can't waste space nor water. And sitting next to one of the richest states, what some call Cal-America, Nevada can't afford to move slowly. The state's boom depends on two things: California staying broken, and the river staying wet. If California ever fixes its own housing and tax problems, the pipeline to Nevada could dry up overnight, and if the engineering fails to keep up with the heat, the desert will reclaim what it lost. But in the Mojave, the margin for error is razor thin. That makes Nevada's growth all the more remarkable, and all the more fragile. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, then please consider subscribing and turn on notifications. Really does make a difference. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on Map Secret World.